Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to welcome you to our course on the history of Kazakhstan. Why history is important? First of all, let's ask a simple question. Why do we study history? Think of history as being a detective. It's our story as a people. By looking at the past, we can understand our future and prepare for tomorrow. Everything around us today is a result of past events. History is the richest story. There is the story of people, places, and ideas. It's sometimes beautiful, sometimes sad, but it's always full of meaning. How do you think history connects to your own life? The goals of our course of History of Kazakhstan is very complex. There are several main goals. We want to give you objective knowledge about our country's past, based on the facts. We will also help you to develop important skills like critical thinking and historical analysis. You will see how Kazakh civilization and the statehood were formed, and how we became a nation. Finally, we will connect our history to a bigger global picture. Why might it be important for young people to study the history of their own country? It is not important to be a historian, but we have to know the history of our motherland. The historians are like detectives who use two main types of evidences. First of all, primary sources. These are original materials from the past, like old diaries, coins, or ancient buildings. Second, there are secondary sources. These are books or articles written later by historians who have studied the primary sources. By comparing these two types of sources, historians can create a clear picture of how people lived and what they believed. Which would you trust more, a diary from the past or a modern history book, and why? These questions can be answered by historians. Let's give some examples on the Kazakh Historical School. In Kazakhstan, our history has been influenced by both international and local traditions. Our own great thinkers, like Mashhur Jusuf Kopeev, Abay Qunanbayev, and Shakarim Khodayberdioglu, worked to preserve the moral and the cultural memory of people. Shokan Walikhanov is considered the founder of modern Kazakh historiography. He combined local knowledge with critical analysis, linking our history to the Golden Horde and the ancient Turkic traditions. This unique Kazakh historical school helped to preserve our identity, Kazakh identity, during difficult times. Why do you think this is important to use both local and international perspectives in history? These questions can be answered by history of Kazakhstan and, of course, world history. Another important type of source is an archaeological site. Archaeology and our deep roots. Modern archaeology gives us physical proof of our ancient civilization. Finds like burial mounds or kurgans, settlements, and caravansarais show that our culture has existed for over 4,000 years. This discovery of the Golden Man from Issyk burial mound is a famous example that proves Kazakhstan's global importance. Kazakh ancestors were among the first in the world to domesticate horses in Botai settlement. This archaeological evidence, combined with oral stories, and historical records, creates a rich picture of Kazakh past. Which do you think tell us more about the past, oral stories or archaeological discoveries? Let's find this out. A new view of history. For a long time, some historians saw nomadic cultures as backward, but today we use a new approach, call it the civilizational approach. This approach shows that the great step of Kazakhstan civilization was very advanced. Kazakh people, Kazakh ancestors contributed a lot to a world history, from horseback culture and the trade along the Great Silk Road to powerful political systems like the Turkic Khaganate and the Golden Horde. Nomadic societies had their own innovations, laws, and cultural achievements. How does this recognizing nomadic civilization change our view of Kazakhstan's role in world history? Try to answer this question. In conclusion, history as our compass. The history of Kazakhstan is not just about the past, it's a compass for our future. It gives us our national memory and identity. It teaches us lessons from past challenges and successes. It helps us understand the changes happening in our society, culture, and politics today. As students in this course, you are not just learning history, you are taking an active part in continuing the story of Kazakhstan. What do you hope to gain personally from studying the history of Kazakhstan? Think about this question.